How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I'm Alexis Lopez, TCG. It's a great month. We have Spider-Man in Magic the Gathering. So continuing the Universes Beyond this year for Magic the Gathering. Of course, Spider-Man is also now going to be in Standard. So it's more cards you can put in your Standard pool, Standard decks. See how it goes. We do have the PT coming up as well. So we'll see if any of the Spider-Man cards actually make it into those constructed decks. Now, as Spider-Man is just coming out, we do have, of course, today what we're opening, which is the Play Booster Box. We're going to have more coming your way with a Collector Booster Box and hopefully a bundle as well to be opening the channel. So we'll see how we can get that in there. Obviously, as always, just hit the like button if you like the video, subscribe, and of course hit that bell notification to be notified of all the videos as they come out and we open other products for you. We also going to try to do some gameplay, some sealed gameplay in between there for you, so stay tuned for that. We'll try to have that ready for you. I just got here from a pre-release, so this is going to be, obviously you'll see this same jersey shirt in the pre-release video because I just did that, got home, and went great. Obviously check that out, check out the recap vlog. It'll be dropping later this week, so you guys can check that out. It is still technically pre-release weekend, so the prices will not be included in this video. Obviously it all fluctuates because it's not really out yet, obviously, so it's going to be up and down there. So we don't do that. We just want to look at the set. We're going to go a little bit slowly, go through all the cards, see what's in there, what's available. What was fun for me in pre-release, I did go Jund, so again, check out the vlog, and then we'll kind of talk about that as we go through. We're hoping to pull some great Spider cards, Spider-Man cards and beyond. We did get some great Venom cards as well in the pre-release, so hoping we get the hero side this time around, and some more reprint. The reprints are an average, I'm hearing, about 1 in every 24 packs instead of the Final Fantasy, which was 1 in every 3 packs. It is unfortunate, so we're hoping we get some great reprints in the box. It's pretty much 1 in every box as the math goes, so we'll see what we pull off. But without further ado, let's jump into this box and let's see what we get. All right, and if you all noticed, again, with my Miles Morales jersey, obviously Spider-Man theme related, para mi gente, happy Hispanic Heritage Month, amazing time. It's, un mes muy lindo, so we're celebrating all month long, obviously Hispanic Heritage Month. So I appreciate all of you that are watching. Comment down below, who you are, where you're from, where you're watching, and how you celebrate. It's always great to hear. We did some magic, obviously being Mexican myself, Mexican American. We had the El Grito on the 16th of September, which is fantastic. And Miles Morales being Hispanic, obviously. Great mix going into this Spider-Man set. So let's hope we pull out some Miles Morales cards because my kid is actually really looking forward to seeing some Miles Morales cards and seeing what he can build around that and play with. So that'll be fun, that'll be interesting, and hope we can pull that off. All right, starting off with pack number 1 here, the Play Booster packs coming through. Again, it's 30 packs in a box. It's no longer 36 like it used to be. That is the new norm, and that is what we have. So it looks like we have the foils in the front. Do we have the treasure? Then we have the land. And then we have the foil Spider-Gwen Free Spirit, 2 in a red. Reach, whenever Spider-Gwen becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So obviously this really works really well with Mayhem, which is the new kind of mechanic that was, well, I don't know if it's new, but it's a mechanic that really was prominent in this set. This set only had 5 archetypes in the actual sets that were going, web slinging being one of the new mechanics. Mayhem is one that when you discard a card this turn, you may cast it for its Mayhem cost the turn that you discarded it. So this helps with that and kind of activate those cards as well. All right, the first rare that we have is Parker Luck. So let's see how the Parker Luck goes for this box. 2 in a black enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, 2 target players each reveal the top card of their library. They each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. Then they each put the card they revealed into their hand. So that's the first rare for the box for us. Secret Identity. Now let's talk about this card. Obviously you can see here it's an uncommon, but this actual card was drawn and by the artist Arcade Post, who also did the unmasked art, which you'll see here. But this is kind of also resembling that, and it's an homage to that same art that he did before. So it's fantastic, and honestly it's beautiful art. It's one of the things I really enjoyed about this set, seeing it in the pre-release. And honestly, the comic book style fits really, really well within the art of this actual set. So it's really, really awesome to see that. Obviously, if you're watching an arena, They don't have the digital rights to the cards, so it'll be different cards on Arena. So these are all, the only way to play with actual Spider-Man cards is in paper. So go ahead and draft that if you can. Check out pre-releases, buy pre-release boxes if you know they haven't sold out, and draft it with your friends. Play some sealed with your friends. I think it's a fun set. It's a little bit slower in limited format, but I honestly thought it was a lot of fun. Supportive parents, really cool. You can see the Miles Morales mask there. Scorpion Seething Striker, a lot of villains in this set, which is also really cool. Mass Meower, now this card is fantastic. Play for 1 red. It has haste, so you can attack, and then you can discard a card, sacrifice this creature, draw a card, again activating Mayhem with a discard. But also, if this card is getting blocked, you can just sacrifice it to draw a card. So really good kind of way to fill that out. We have Merciless Enforcers, more villains. Beetle, Legacy Criminal, Human Rogue Villain. Angry Rabble, check this out, crossing out the spider, human citizen against the spider people. Then we have Craven's Cats, creature cat villain. Cat villain is insane. Wild Pack Squad, which is human mercenaries. Guy in the Chair coming through for the mana color. So it's not really a mana dork, it's not just a 1 cost. It's 2 and a green, but you can add mana color, or you can do web support, which is honestly really fun. You do 2 and a green, tap this, and you put +1/+1 counter on target spider. Activate it only as a sorcery. So very nice. Then we have Selfless Police Captain, human detective. How selfless can he be? I guess we'll find out. All right, pack number 2. As we get to know more of the cards, as we see more of the cards, we'll go a little bit faster through them. But obviously, as the set just came out, we'll go through them a little bit slower. See, but we are going to be seeing the hits at the front, so that's interesting there. We have the spider token. We have Swamp. As you can see, there's a Spider-Man there coming in the background. We have our first foil, which is our foil for the pack is Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, coming through 4 and a blue. Very good common. As long as there are 8 or more cards in your graveyard, Doc Ock has base power and toughness of 8/8, and as long as you control another villain, Doc Ock hexproof. So really good. Obviously tied in with putting stuff in your graveyard, so very much good in the archetype of blue-black, and surveilling, putting things in the graveyard. Really good card here. We have our rare Spinneret and Spiderling, red legendary creature, spider human hero. Whenever you attack with 2 or more spiders, put a +1/+1 counter on Spinneret and Spiderling. Whenever Spinneret and Spiderling deal 4 or more damage, exile the top of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. So red really getting a lot of support in this set, which is one thing that was really interesting to see. Really cool. Web Warriors, very nice here. Spire Heroes, you see obviously the different spider men and women coming through here. Very cool. Oh, obviously Spider Pig as well. So Green Goblin Revenant, really good Rakdos card. I really enjoyed this one. His Flying Death Touch, and whenever Green Goblin attacks, discard a card, then draw a card for each card you discarded this turn. So if you have other ways to discard cards and you kind of want to get that out of your way and then draw more, do that first, and then obviously attack with this card, and once you do, discard it and then draw for each card that you've drawn. So really good synergy, really good way to kind of get rid of stuff in your hand that's kind of dead cards and you want to draw some more stuff. Very good. And we have Daily Bugle Building Land. The one other land we're actually looking for here is Multi-Passage. I believe that's what it's called. So if hopefully we do pull that here today, and we'll check that out. But it's a Daily Bugle Building. Add 1 mana of any color. If you do 1 and tap this, you can also pay 1, tap this, and target legendary creature gains menace until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So more utility lands coming through here as well. Mechanical Mobster coming through as an artifact. Human Robot Villain. Risky Research. Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. Again, blue and black really works well with Surveil. Mysterio's Phantasm. 1 in a blue. Flying Vigilance. Whenever this creature attacks, mill a card. Jock. Beautiful 2 damage. Scout the City. Miles Morales very much coming through in green. Look around, mill 3 cards. Bring down, destroy target creature with flying. Skyward Spider and Spider Human Hero. Lurking Lizard Villain. And then we have the amazing City Pigeon. This card obviously everybody loves. It's a really good card. It's 1 white mana. It has flying, and when this creature leaves the battlefield, create a food token. So obviously very good to come at the beginning. It's not a mana dork, but you can have it attack and then use it for web slinging. So that does help you kind of bring down the cost of something else if you're using it for web slinging. And then when it leaves the battlefield, you create a food token. So a lot of utility for a 1 cost card, which is really cool. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, even though it's a funny looking card, a fun looking card in that sense, the fact that it has utility and it's only one a white pip, it's really, really nice. Robots. Sinister Hideout coming through. We have the villains there in the background. Then we have, the foil is a rare, and it's the Spot Living Portal. As you can see, he's going through the portals there as well. It's 3 white and black. Honestly, really, really funny that the Spot is obviously in Orzhov colors. It's a legendary creature, human scientist villain. When the Spot enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent and up to 1 target non-land permanent card from our graveyard. When the Spot dies, put him on the bottom of his owner's library. If you do, return the exile card to his owner's hand. So really cool. You can obviously use them to interrupt or use them to bring stuff out of your field to your hand, and have them die, and then you can bring it back to your hand. So really, really cool ways. You can definitely kind of figure out a way to use that synergy with the Spot living for the exile. So Lizard Connor's Curse, 2 green lizard villain. When Lizard Connor's Curse enters, up to 1 target creature loses all abilities and becomes a green lizard creature with base power and toughness 4/4. So you can either power something up on your end that's a little bit weaker, especially in limited, or you can go ahead and make another creature on the opponent's side lose all its abilities. It does become a 4/4, but taking away abilities does help a lot. Wall Crawl. Again, Miles Morales very much coming through in green. Hobgoblin Mantled Marauder, 1 in red, flying haste. Whenever you discard a card, Hobgoblin gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Sandman's Quicksand. Spider-Man No More. Oh, sad scene, such a sad scene. Eerie Gravestone. Unstable Experiment. Obviously we have Norman Osborn. The solution is turning green, but why? What does it mean? Very cool. I do like some of the flavor text here is really, really cool. At the edge of the Spider-Verse, a Gwen Stacy becomes a hero. Venom's Hunger. I wish I had this card in my actual limited. I didn't. It's a 4 in a black, but this spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a villain. Destroy target creature, you gain 2 life. Sinner Takes All. Very, very cool card. Again, Venom synergy is actually really, really prominent in this set. Really, really cool. Subway Train kind of lets you do some mana fixing. Spider-Man Web Slinger. So here it is, web slinging. So you can pay 2 in a white to cast it normally, or you can pay just 1 white. You may cast a spell for 1 white if you also return a tap creature you control to its owner's hand. So very, very cool. It's not ninjutsu, so it does, obviously you can only cast it when you cast a normal actual creature. So none of that ninjutsu stuff. Just don't get confused with that. And then we have Electro's Bolt, which is the first time we see the Mayhem. So you may cast this card from your graveyard for 1 in the red if you discarded it this turn. Timing rules still apply. So honestly, you can only play it when you can play sorceries. You can't just play it at instant speed if it's been thrown in the actual discard this turn. So that's that's one of the things a lot of people were kind of making sure they read, making sure they kept up with web slinging, how it worked, how Mayhem worked, and it was very interesting. It made for a lot of fun games, honestly. Spider. Beautiful. Okay, so these are one of the great things about this set. I really, really enjoy the lands. Obviously, I've mentioned it before. When I do my pre-release and drafts, I use a full, my play sets of actual unstable lands. So I'm always looking for see what other lands I can take and play with. It's really, really cool. This doesn't have any texture on it, but looking the web planes here in foil, they look fantastic. Awesome, awesome card. Our foil is Spider Rex Daring Dino. So it's 4 green, reach, trample, 6/6. On Earth 6/6, Peter Parker learned that with great power comes gross ability. So very, very good Spider Rex here coming through in foil. Then we have our rare Silk Web Weaver, 2 green and a white spider human hero, and it has web slinging. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 green and white human citizen creature token. You can pay 3 green and a white. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until end of turn. Very, very good card to create a lot of tokens with. Awesome. Ooh, double rare. Awesome. Shadow of the Goblin. Very good, cool art here. 1 in red. Unreliable Visions. At the beginning of your first main phase, discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And then Undying Vengeance. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. So playing a land or casting a spell from anywhere other than your hand deals damage. So very, very good with Mayhem. Very good when fetching a land as well. Very, very cool. It works out really well. Sun Spider, Nimble, Weber 3, and white or blue. Spider-Human Hero, very cool. Has a cap on. Heroes Hangout, look at that. Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. 1 red, date night or patrol night. Choose what you like. Living Brain, Mechanical Marvel. Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist. Tigger on the Dinosaur Man. Dinosaur Villain has Menace. 1 in a red, discard this card until end of turn. Target creature you control gets +3/+1 and becomes a dinosaur in addition to its other types. So really cool to kind of play in the dinosaur archetype if you're playing that like in Commander and stuff like that. We have Inner Demon Gangsters, or Oscorp Research Team, Elite Bugle Reporters, Spider Rex coming through again, and then Flip. Very good instant combat trick. Obviously, target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. And if it's a spider, you also gain 2 life. Very cool, bringing that in with the Thwip. There's not a lot of like removals or a lot of not a lot of crazy amount of instants in this set. There are a lot of cards with flash, which is really fun. But not a lot of cards with not a lot of instant cards in this set, which is interesting. Suburban Sanctuary. We have foil in Scorpion Sting, 1 in a black for target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Craven's Last Hunt, 3 in a green. Mill 5 cards when you do the saga deals damage equal to the greatest number among cards in your graveyard to target creature. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And then return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand at the last step. Very, very good rare here as well. Not a lot of sagas in this set, so one of the few sagas that you'll see in this set. Pictures of Spider-Man. Molten Man Inferno Incarnate. This card I think is really interesting. When it enters, search your library for a basic mountain card and put it into the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. Molten Man gets +1/+1 for each mountain you control. But when Molten Man leaves the battlefield, you have to sacrifice a land. So very, very interesting to see how that works. But I mean, it's really cool that it gets powered up by the actual amount of lands you have on the field, specifically mountains. Prowler Clawed Thief, lovely colors on that. Spider-Bot, that is terrifying looking tick thing. Steel Wrecking Ball. Venom Evil Unleashed, awesome card. Awesome, just awesome drawing on there. Awesome work. Whoosh. Kicker, 1 in a blue, and it's cost 1 in a blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If this spell was kicked, draw a card. Professional Wrestler. When this enters, you create a church token, so very good for mana fixing as well. Creature can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. It's also 4/4, very cool. Scorpion Sting, 2 removal cards. Let's go. Spider Manifestation. This is one of the cards that did really, really well for me. Obviously, like I said, I went Jund. Mostly Rakdos with the splash of green. But this card really, really helps because it's 1 and either a red or a green. It has reach, and you can tap it for either red or green, so it's a very good mana dork. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, you can tap this creature. So you can cast something that's 4 or greater, untap this, and then follow up with the shock for a response to something else. So very, very cool. Or if you attack with this and you cast something else, untap this, and then have more mana ready for you to use. Very cool. And then Spectacular Tactics. Destroy target creature power 4 or greater, or put +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and it gains hexproof until end of turn. So defensive or offensive, depending on how you want to choose to use that instant. Very, very nice. Yeah, now we're seeing some of the commons we haven't seen. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of the same ones. There's not a lot of cards in the set compared to the other sets, so very, very cool in that sense. That's a little bit lesser amount, but obviously you're still going to not see all of them in one box. So Swamp, again, Spider Swamp, very good. Passenger Ferry is our foil for this pack. And then we have Arachne, Psionic Weaver, 2 in a white. Legend creature, Spider-Human Hero, Web Slinging. As Arachne enters, look at an opponent's hand and choose a card type other than creature. Spells of the chosen type cost 1 more to cast. That's actually pretty cool. You can actually kind of push them back a turn based on what you choose, and then you get to see obviously information in your opponent's hand. So interesting. Most of the time, obviously in black, you have Thoughtseize, or you have the Duresses where you can make them discard a card. But this way, in white, you get to kind of get that information and you make it cost a little bit more, so you kind of push them back a turn, which is really, really interesting. We haven't got a lot of mythics. Actually, we haven't got any mythics in this set, so we're hoping we do. Costume Closet, so much spider gear. Guarded Spider, Kane, Rakdos, Spider-Human Hero. Spider-Man Heroic Horde, looking oh, excuse me, this is Spider-Man Heroic Horde, so this is actually a Spider-Man made out of spiders. They all collectively think that they're one being, that they're one spider. So when Spidersman enters, if they cast using web slinging, you gain 3 life and gain 2/1 green spider creature tokens would reach, because when it's moving, some of the spiders might fall off, so you get some more spiders. They're very cool. Spider Bite Web Warden, Spider Avatar Hero, Spider Islanders, Spider Horror Citizen, Venomized Cat, really cool card here. Death Touch, when it enters, you mill 2 cards. Mysterious Phantasm, Kapow! Sorcery, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It fights target creature and opponent controls. Vibrant Cityscape, really good card to obviously help with mana fixing, makes stuff fetchable. Lurking Lizard, and then Web Up Enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. For 2 and a white. Very cool. Always great to have more ways than one. Obviously, by that I mean Banishing Light, to kind of have an enchantment go in and be able to get some of those cards out of the way from your opponent's side. Very, very good card. Spider Island, we have the Spider-Man in the background. We have Foil Professional Wrestler. Rare Sandman Shifting Scoundrel, 1 green, Sand Elemental Villain. Sandman's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Sandman can be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and you can pay 3 green, return this card and target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So very good, obviously, based on the lands you have, makes it stronger, which obviously as the game goes on, it's going to be stronger, and you can also return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped if it gets destroyed. So some recursion there, very cool. With great power rare, 3 and a white. Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it, so you can actually attach multiple with great powers, and then all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. Very interesting, very great way to kind of like support yourself. It's kind of like a semi 9 lives without obviously being the full 9 lives. Web Shooters, Green Goblin Revenant. Ooh, beautiful borderless card here in Web Warriors. We've seen this already, of course, but now we're seeing it with the borderless, like comic book art again. This is awesome. I really, really like the way that the comic book art reflects on the cards. Really, really good card. Hot Dog card, Spider Gwen Free Spirit, Risky Research, Doc Ock's Henchman, Use Helicopter, Grow Extra Arms, and then Starling Aerial Ally, Human Hero coming through. We still haven't seen any of the other reprints, by the way. Obviously, it's the first time we've seen like the borderless comic book art. We could see that kind of like we've seen that in Spider-Man Noir, and other comics as well, but we haven't seen it yet on any other rares or any of the special guest reprints. So we're hoping we get that soon. Robot, Savage Mansion foil. Hey, Taxi Driver, 1 in red. You can pay 1, tap this. Target creature gains haste until end of turn because it gets on top of a taxi. Give it haste, why not? Spider-Man 2099. Look at this interesting card for Is It? Oh, excuse me, I hit the desk. This is a blue and a red. Spider-Human Hero. From the future, you can't cast Spider-Man 2099 during your first, second, or third turns of the game. Double Strike Vigilance. It has Double Striking Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, if you've played a land or cast a spell this turn from anywhere other than your hand, Spider-Man 2099 deals damage equal to its power to any target. So very, very interesting. Obviously, Spider-Man 99, you can have like stuff with flashbacks, stuff like with fetchables and all that, that gives it its power. So our rare, very, very nice. Ooh, second rare in this pack, Bio-Organic Carapace, or Carapace, I don't know how to say that word, I'm sorry. 2 white and a blue. Artifact Equipment. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. A equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for each modified creature you control. Wow, that's actually really interesting. So modified means if it has an equipment aura or a counter on it, counts as modified. So if this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for each modified creature. That's really, really interesting. That's a lot of draw power. Equip 2. That's going to be a good rare, I think. A lot of people are going to be definitely talking about that one. Sudden Strike, 1 in a white. Destroy target attacking or blocking creature. Ezekiel Sims, Spider Totem. Greek Troublemaker, awesome card. Awesome card that did really well for me. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may discard a card when you do target creature can block. Obviously, you put that together with Mayhem. Beautiful. You also stop their blockers on their turn, so they have to have more stuff on the field. Or you just block their biggest thing and just kind of go through. Very, very nice. Bago and Schmear. Shock. Common Crook. Passenger Ferry. Raven's Cats. City Pigeon. And then Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary. Ooh, nice. This is a mouse card we haven't seen yet. 4 in a green, or web slinging 2 in a green. When Spider-Man enters, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle. Very nice. I always love being able to have more mana fixing in the card, so why not? We'll take that, especially for limited. Really good. Honestly, again, I know limited for this format and this set is going to be low. It is a pick to draft, also if you are drafting. But I think it's very interesting how they're choosing to do the actual limited set. And I think it's, even though it's slow, it's actually a lot of fun with some of the synergies. Even though they're not really called out with the archetypes, like I said, I went Jund and it wasn't too difficult to do so. So it's very, very interesting. So Radioactive Spider Foil, very nice. Look at the coloring on that. Terrifying spider though. J. Jonah Jameson, rare, 2 in red. When J. Jonah Jameson enters, suspect up to 1 target creature. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. Whenever a creature you control with menace attacks, create a treasure token. The photos are garbage, Parker. I'll buy them all. Very cool. Very, very cool way to kind of like have like the flavor of suspecting somebody with J. Jonah Jameson. Wisecrack. This card is very interesting, by the way. 2 in a red. Instant. Target creature deals damage equal to its power to itself. If that creature is attacking, Wisecrack deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. So very, very good one to kind of hold on to until they're attacking to either to destroy it and then also cause damage to the controller of the card, which is really cool. Spider-Man India, very cool coming through. Spider-Man Hero. Ooh. Alien Symbiosis. Mechanical Mobster. Taxi Driver. Venom's Hunger. Oh. Beetle Legacy Criminal. Electro's Bolt. Gallant Citizen. Mob Lookout. And then Selfless Fleet Captain. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We haven't gotten a Mythic yet. And we're almost done with the first third of the box. So we're hoping we get a Mythic in this pack. We'll see how many Mythics we get at the end. That'll be interesting to see how the play boosters do with Mythics as well. Ominous Items. Seen this one a lot. Our foil Bagel and Schmear. Hydro-Man Fluid Felon. So it's 2 blue. This card is interesting as well. Whenever you cast a blue spell, if Hydro-Man is a creature, he gets +1/+1 until the turn. What do you mean when Hydro-Man is a creature? Well, that's a very good question, because at the beginning of your end step, untap Hydro-Man. Until your next turn, he becomes a land and gains tap this to add blue. So it doesn't, you know, obviously on your opponent's turn it's not a creature, so it can kind of evade some of the removal that way. But it is only a land on their turn as well, so you don't have blockers and whatnot. So very interesting card. Ooh, Saw in Half. Beautiful card. It almost looks like the Unmask as well. But Saw in Half, this is one of the first reprints we're seeing here. It is actually our first Mythic of the box as well. So Saw in Half is 2 in a black instant. Destroy target creature. If that creature dies this way, its controller creates 2 tokens that are copies of that creature, except their power is half that creature's power and their toughness is half that creature's toughness. Round up each time. Very, very cool. Saw in Half. Interesting card and interesting reprint that we're getting here. Mythic for the box. Let's go. So that was in with like the uncommon slot as well. Yeah, seems like it. Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Spider, piloted by Penny. So it's obviously the robot here, Spider Hero. Pictures of Spider-Man. Spider-Bot. Romantic Rendezvous. Very, very good card. Obviously 1 in a red. Discard a card and draw 2 cards. Again, works really, really well with Mayhem in this set as well. So very good card. Inner Demon Gangsters. Amazing Acrobatics. Scour the City. Skyward Spider and Guy in Chair. Alright, that was our first third. We did technically get 1 Mythic, which is a comic reprint. So we'll definitely take that. Let's see what we get in the next 2/3 of the box. We can go a little bit faster now that we've seen a lot of the cards, especially a lot of the commons. We're going to definitely see the hits, obviously, at the beginning. And let's see what else we can get today. Grow Extra Arms. The Spot Living Portal Rare. Wrath. Vicious Vigilante. Dude, the art in there is sick. Spider Suit. Putting the spider suit on. Prison Break. Let's go. Rhino's leading the charge. Hot Dog Cart. Triggeron, Dinosaur Man, Eerie Greystone. Spider-Man Web Slinger. Subway Train. Ooh, Pumpkin Bombardment. As an additional cost to pay this card, as an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card or pay 2, and then Pumpkin Bombardment deals 3 damage to our creature. Again, works really, really well with Mayhem, and Mayhem is definitely in Rakdos, so a very good card to have for that. You can tell, I'm a big fan of Mayhem. Obviously, like Rakdos is my favorite color, pairing. So you'll see that I tend to gravitate to seeing what those color pairs are doing for their archetype. Strength of Will, dude, I love the way that the red pops in this one. Very cool. Spider-Man Noir, we have him here in the regular art. We do have the borderless art as well that we opened in the pre-release, but look at that beautiful card. Green Goblin Revenant, School Days, Mass Meower, Swarming of Bees, the one card with Flash, so my hand's really good in your opponent's turn. Doc Ock's Henchman, Taxi Driver, Spectacular Tactics, Spider Manifestation, Thwip, and Vibrant Cityscape. Ooh, nice Spider. Savage Mansion. We have Rhino's Rampage foil. There we go. This is the card we're looking for, and we get it in borderless. Beautiful, beautiful borderless card here in Multiversal Passage. Obviously, a lot of people are already talking about Starting Town from Final Fantasy. It's one of the cards to kind of have a play set of. Now we're seeing people talk about this card for a specific reason being that Multiversal Passage. As this land enters, choose a basic land type. Then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tap. And then this land is the chosen type. Why are people talking about it? Obviously, you can play it right away by shocking yourself. But if you don't want to, just by naming that basic land, it turns on the verges. So, like, obviously, you understand that the verges can't be turned on for the dual sided lands if they don't have that specific, like, island or plains or, like, like the forest and the mountain, all that stuff, the way that those verges work. Shock lands obviously really help with that, because they have the names of the actual lands in the card to say they're one or the other. But Starting Town doesn't have that option, so it doesn't turn them on. This card coming into town does actually give that option, and it's really, really cool because it turned on verges. So people are very, very interested in playing this card, and we get the borderless card version, which is fantastic. And then we get another land behind it, Daily Bugle Building, Tombstone Courier Criminal, Spider Piloted by Penny, Venom Evil Unleashed, Doc Ock, Angry Rabble, Venomized Cat, Web Up, Professional Wrestler, Wild Pass Squad, and Grox Arms. So awesome, 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 beautiful land there. We're hoping for one. We're hoping for a couple more. Obviously, we would love to get the play set early. It's always good to have those options of lands for constructed, so we'll definitely take it. Mountain, Spider Mountain, beautiful web mountain here. Spider-Man Noir in foil. That's like 3 versions. We have Spider-Man Noir. Awesome. Peter Parker's Camera. It costs 1. This artifact enters with 3 film counters on it. You can pay 2 and tap this. Remove a film counter from this artifact. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for its copy. So it's very, very cool because you get to target not just get activated, but also triggered abilities, which is really awesome. Molten Man, Inferno Incarnate, Web Shooters, Prowler Crawl Thief, Merciless Enforcers, Whoosh, City Pigeon. That's like what, the 3rd City Pigeon here? Gallant Citizen. We're going to definitely get a play set of City Pigeons for sure. But yeah, so far only 1 Mythic, and that Mythic was a reprint, so it's crazy we haven't seen any other Mythics in this box yet. Web Forest, Angry Rabble foil, Guarded Spider Ben Riley. I know people were talking about Ben Riley being some people's favorite Spider-Man. Very, very cool. Spoilers for those who know, Ben Riley is a clone. So the clone saga, very, very much around Ben Riley. Flash Thompson Spider Fan, Rhino's Rampage, Madam Web Clairvoyant. I haven't seen this one. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spider spells and non-creature spells from the top of your library. Whenever you attack, you may mill a card. Oh, very cool. Very interesting. Kind of works really well with obviously the recursion if you have it. Blue and black. That's, I think when I am able to draft or do like the sealed stuff for through the almond path, I'm gonna try out some blue black and see how that goes. I'm definitely gonna try to do some more sealed gameplay for you all, and then see what we can build there. Jackal, Genius Geneticist, and then see if we can like do some other archetypes as well coming through. Obviously, Rakdos is gonna be what I always kind of see first and want to go for. But sometimes, it's good to try out different archetypes, see what we can build. Okay. Wow, 1 Mythic so far. Kind of rough. I wonder how rough play butchers are going to be then for Mythics. Ooh, Web Island. Have you gotten one of each now? Very cool. Rent is due. At the beginning of your end step, you may tap 2 untapped creatures and or treasures you control. If you do, draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice his enchantment. Wow. Very tough card. Spider Mobile. Vulture. Wisecrack. Guy in the chair. Yeah, the rares being in the front, it's kind of tough to go through the rest, but I know you guys want to see the hits. But again, the set is still new, so it's good to go through all the cards and see what we get, even though now we're going faster to them as we've seen a lot of the commons and uncommons. Mountain. Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Oscorp Industries. This is another tri-land, so this land is just tapped. When this land enters from a graveyard, you lose 2 life. You can pay, you can tap it to get blue, black, or red, or it has Mayhem. So you may play this card from your graveyard. If you discarded it this turn, timing rules still apply. So again, if you already played a turn, you can't, but if you want to discard this, and then you can play for its Mayhem, you do lose 2 life, but, you know, you get to play it from the graveyard, so that's cool. It gives you an option to discard something that you didn't want to, if you don't want to discard anything else in your hand, and obviously you can still play it, so it's a very, very good way to do so, and play around discarding what you have to discard at the moment. All right, 2 more packs in this third. Is it going to be like the last third where we had the Mythic in the last pack? We'll see. Terrific team up. Oh, it's the first time I see this. Is beautiful art. Miles Morales and Spider-Man going against Venom. Ultimate Green Goblin. This was a card that we definitely saw in the pre-release. Again, check out the vlog. Link down below so you can check out how that pre-release went. Ooh, the death of Gwen Stacy. 2 in the black. Destroy target creature in the saga. So lore 1, lore 2 is each player may discard a card. Each player who doesn't loses 3 life. And then lastly, exile any number of target players' graveyards. Very, very cool. The death of Gwen Stacy. Obviously, you can see the markings of Gwen Stacy there at the bottom. Whew. What a crazy story that one is. One of the deaths that's definitely talked about a lot in comic lore. Death of Gwen Stacy. Spider-Man did everything he could to save her, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Robot. Nice foil web swamp. Wrath Vicious Vigilante. Urban Retreat. This has obviously Tri-Land. You can pay 2, return a tap creature you control to its owner's hand. Put this card into your hand from your hand to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Very interesting. Villainous Wrath, really cool card. Obviously 3 black. Really cool actual art. And then target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control, and then you destroy all creatures. It's only a sorcery though, but it's a good way to board wipe and then make your opponent lose some damage as well. Wow, so no Mythic in that third as well. That is crazy how many rares we've gotten. You know, obviously not bad, but only 1 Mythic. And the Mythic from the set is a reprint that we got, so not even a regular set Mythic. So we'll see if we get any actual set Mythics in this box. Our Mythics are just, wow. Mary Jane Watson coming through in the rare. Mythics are not real, folks. Mythics are not real. Unless I missed a Mythic and I left it in the rare. I'll double check at the end. I don't think so. Now we're definitely going through it, hoping to find another Mythic. So based on the math, we should not be seeing another reprint, but hopefully we do. Ooh, we get a rare borderless radioactive spider coming through. 1 green, reach, death touch. Faithful Bite, you can pay 2, sacrifice this creature, search your library for a spider hero card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. Beautiful borderless art coming through. Spiders Man, heroic coin. That's always a funny card, man, because it's like spiders thinking they are collectively Spider-Man. The multiverse is insane for Spider-Man. And, you know, we'll commend them for having such imagination, because I don't think I could have come up with that. But it's really funny. Spider-Ham, also very interesting how that came to be. Swamp. Whoosh. Interdimensional Web Watch, 4 cost. When this artifact enters, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards, and then you can tap this, add 2 mana in any combination of colors, spend this mana only to cast spells from exile. So it's very, very like hyper, ooh, spectacular Spider-Man, borderless, beautiful. The other card is very specific. Obviously, when it comes in, you can exile. You can only tap it to add mana to play exiled cards. So Very interesting card and very situational for sure. But wow, beautiful borderless, spectacular Spider-Man, 1 in a white. It has flash. You can pay 1, spectacular Spider-Man gains flying until end of turn, or you can pay 1, sacrifice spectacular Spider-Man. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Obviously, people talked about this like Zach from Final Fantasy, but first of all, this art is fantastic coming through in this borderless art, in comic style, and then it also has flash, so very, very cool card. Again, still no mythics though. Jesus Christ. Wow. Now I'm like wondering what kind of box we got. Like mythics are gonna be like non-existent, or if that's just gonna be how play boosters are gonna be for Spider-Man, with like mythics just being a thing like that are super rare to get. Again, this is all like anecdotal, obviously based on this box, so it could be different from each, obviously for each person or whatever it is, or we might have gotten just a box that had no mythics luck. So Superior Spider-Man coming through, beautiful card here. Spider-Man Human Hero. You may have Superior Spider-Man enters a copy of any creature card in a graveyard except his name is Superior Spider-Man. He's a 4/4 Spider Human Hero in addition to his other type, and when you do, exile that card. Nice. Borderless here for Spider, piloted by Penny. Again, the comic book art in borderless and these cards is fantastic, and I honestly think they fit really, really well with them, like the whole Magic the Gathering scheme in that fantasy aspect. It's just the colors pop on these cards. They're very much obviously comic panels coming through in a borderless setting, so very, very cool. Treasure, foil web mountain, daily bugle building. Hey, there we go. Our first, well, technically second mythic for the box, but our first mythic for the regular set is Behold the Sinister 6 in a black. Return up to 6 target creature cards with different names from your graveyard to your battlefield. Open your eyes to your nightmare. Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius. Wow. This pack has the second mythic in Spider-Verse. 3 red. The enchantment reads, the legend rule doesn't apply to spiders you control. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may copy it. If you do, you may choose new targets for the copy. If the copy is a permanent spell, it gains haste. Do it only once per turn. Double mythic in a pack after not getting any mythics from the regular set is awesome. So that's 3 mythics for the box. 2 of them being from the regular set, 1 being a obviously mythic reprint. There you go. Hey, we're wondering, but we're still hoping we get more mythics though. We're not gonna stop asking for them because that's what we want. Maybe another reprint. We'll take another reprint. Why not? Iron Spider Stark upgrade. The good thing about the rares though, I am getting different rares, so it's not a lot of like duplicates in the rares, which is really, really cool. At least we'll be definitely happy about that for sure. That's one thing that can happen where you get a lot of the rare duplicates, obviously in a smaller set. But so far, not a lot of rare duplicates, but also not a lot of mythics. So we'll see. Beautiful weblands though. Awesome. Love to see that. Spider Sense. Web slinging. Counter target instant spell, sorcery. Counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. This is going to be interesting to see how many people are playing this card. I think it's interesting. People are definitely going to test for it. Especially in modern, like having a lot of ways to counter triggers as well. Triggered abilities. Really good. And I mean, if you can kind of straight up my blink stuff with web slinging, it'll be interesting to see how that works. Treasure Plains, Risky Research foil, Rare Spinner and Spiderling. Yeah, we have seen that, so it looks like we finally seen some duplicate rares. All right, 2 more packs. Comment down below if you think we're gonna hit another mythic or another reprint from the Spider-Man set. Let me know in the comments below. Let's see what we get. Foil Spectacular Tactic. Rare. Oh, yes. It's a great one that we wanted to get. Spider-Punk, 1 in a red. Legendary creature, Spider Human Hero. It has Riot. So this means that this creature enters with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered, and then damage can't be prevented. Very, very nice card. Definitely going to be seeing play in mono red. How widely it's going to be used, I'm not sure yet, but very, very good card is going to be tested for sure. And then, ooh, nice other rare is Hide on the Ceiling, X in the blue. Exile X target artifacts and or creatures. Return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So very, very good. You can also just do it for yourself if you want to benefit off the blink, pretty much in that case, with the exile and then returning them back. So very, very cool. All right, last pack. We got some good rares. 3 mythics so far. We're hoping for, you know what, let's hope for both. Let's hope for both another reprint and a mythic in this last pack. Let's see what we get. Web Mountain. Ooh, nice. So we get a foil Ultimate Green Goblin rare. And then we get another rare here in Rocket Power Goblin Glider. When this artifact, when this equipment enters, if it was captured in your graveyard attached to a target creature you control, equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has flying and haste. And of course, you can equip it for 2 and or pay its mayhem cost. Very, very cool card to discard there and bring in Shocker Unshakable. This card is nuts. 4 red. During your turn, Shocker has first strike, but when it enters, he deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to the opponent's controller. Very cool. Also, when this enters, by the way, he deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to the target's creature's controller. So if you bring it out and your opponent doesn't have any creatures, it does have to do damage to one of your creatures and you take the damage instead. So be very, very wary of that one, because it doesn't say you may deal damage to a target creature. It's he deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. So you can take damage off of that one. Spider-Gwen Free Spirit coming through as well. Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, and last but not least in this pack, Pumpkin Bombardment. Okay, wow. So this box, we got 3 mythics. Spider-Verse, Behold the Sinister Six, and Saw in Half. 2 mythics were in the same pack, and one was a reprint, which is a beautiful reprint, by the way, with the Saw in Half. And then we got plenty of rares, including the multi, what was it? I forget what it's called. I mean, we also got the cool version of it, so that was interesting as well. The multiversal passage coming through, so very, very happy about that. We didn't get any other actual mythics. Obviously, we got the beautiful rare spectacular Spider-Man borderless, very cool. Some cool art in the rares. Yeah, no, so I'm just making sure I didn't like miss a mythic or anything like that. We got some foil rares, which is pretty cool, pretty interesting. We got a lot of different rares, which is also really, really good. Not a lot of similar rares, but multiversal passage and borders, and then 2 regular mythics, and then a set reprint mythic. Was really, really fun. So that was our first box of Spider-Man for the new Magic the Gathering set. Of course, remember that set was supposed to be smaller, and then they kind of expanded it after learning what they were going to do with it. It's also the one that's bringing in the pick 2 draft into the actual format. So it was made to play with you, yourself, and 3 other friends, so 4 friends total. Obviously, you pick 2 from the pack, and then you pass it along like in a regular draft. So instead of picking 1, you pick 2. That's what pick 2 draft is. So that's why you use 4 players instead of 8. So very interesting to see how it's going to work. It does make boxes more usable, because you can obviously play with a smaller group. You can use the box more. So, I mean, hopefully that's in a good way, good sense, but we'll see how interesting it is, especially as a format for other sets. I mean, it's always interesting to try stuff like that, right? To see what you can get out of it. So really, really interesting. Let me know in the comments below, though, what you thought of this set. Let me know if you're going to pick up Spider-Man at all. Like, are you not interested? Are you going to skip it? If you are going to skip it, first and foremost, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate all of you as always. But, if you're going to skip the set and you're still watching this video, thank you so much. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you pulled. First of all, let me celebrate your wins with you. I always love celebrating your wins. I love hearing what you guys get. And of course, let me know if you're going to be skipping the set, how your pre-release went. Let me know all that in the comments down below. And as always, if you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Really, really helps the channel grow, especially the subscribers and the views, obviously. We're getting closer to the 500. We're trying to get to that 1,000 and all that. Remember, monetization and all that obviously doesn't happen until 1,000 subscribers and more. So again, all this is just me having a lot of fun opening these packs, opening for you, doing gameplay, recording it, editing it out, putting it for you, because it's just, I love the game and I love TCG, so I try to play more, open more, and see what I can film for you all there. So if you have any ideas of any stuff you want to see, also write down in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see, and we'll definitely try to get to that for you as well. Again, if you're going to pick up any of the singles, if you don't want to get the sealed products, but you're interested in some of the cards, use my affiliate link down below to tcgplayer.com. That's your one-stop shop for sealed and singles for TCGs. So that way you can pick up exactly what you want and what you need. And, maybe you don't get a lot of mythics in your box like I did today. So, check that out. Use that affiliate link. Again, I get a kickback, and it helps the channel grow as well because I can put the money back in for opening more stuff for the actual channel, and of course getting more equipment to upgrade the channel as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate all of you who've been around this long. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you really have good luck on your pulls. Don't forget the vlog for the pre-release will be out later this week. So again, notifications really help you, let you know what time that's going to be out. But every Monday 10 a.m. we have a new video, and then we try to, if we do a pre-release, it'll be probably Friday at 10 a.m. But again, notifications to help you out there the best. Again, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever it is that you may be. I hope you have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care of yourselves. Peace.